Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Radio W.O.R.K.S. My name is Donia Youssef and I'm presenting today's show, which is called Story Time. Just want to say, firstly, a huge thank you to all the supporters who came to the Monster and Mummy book launch on Saturday at Waterstones in Greenwich. It was a fantastic day and a great success, and we all had a great time. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who came down and made the effort to support us on Saturday. I would also like to speak to you, if anyone if this is the first time you are actually listening to the show today. This will be the 5th episode, and the story time is a time where we can all join together, with your children included, to basically really come together and communicate effectively with your family and children. Just trying to make the life at home a lot easier and to take anyway unnecessary pressures. So I do find by communicating, obviously being a cancer survivor myself, it is extremely important, and having 2 very young children myself as well. I do know from experience that the best way is to communicate effectively with your children so they do understand what is going on in their language, so the fear is eliminated as much as possible. So today's story is a book called When Someone You Love Has Cancer, and it's another guide to help children cope. So once again, hope you're all ready and you've got your children, want to sit down and share the story with you, and here we go. When Someone You Love Has Cancer. Few things affect the everyday life of a family like the presence of a lingering illness like cancer. Surgeries, chemotherapy, radiation checkups, relapses not only take a toll on one's time, but they sap energies, heighten worries, promote fears, and bring despair. Coping with the situations arising from cancer is an arduous task, not only for the one suffering the illness, but for the entire family. These struggles can be amplified for children. While adults have the ability to better understand the complexities of cancer and the responsibilities to keep the family going, children experience much confusion, fear, and misunderstanding about the disease and its treatment. Frequently, children are lost in the shuffle of it all, wondering what is happening and what their role is. Although naturally resilient, children are not immune to the same pressures experienced by adults. Adults need to remember that children's responses and needs are different from their own. When I was a young boy and my mother was dying of Hodgkin's disease, many caring adults wanted to spare me from the grim realities of her illness, feeling that I was too young to understand. Yet the questions I had about the events that swirled around my world were very real. Given the lack of real answers, I frequently resorted to my own misinformed hypotheses. Children are never too young to understand some sort of explanation, and adults need to remember that talking with the child is vital for his or her understanding, self-awareness, and eventual ability to cope. Faced with such confusion, a child may act out, becoming petulant or irritable. Patience, frequently in short supply during difficult times, needs to rule the day. Making sure the child has time to be a child, enjoying fun and play, and entering into that playtime with the child will help temper these actions. May this book help children cope with the presence of cancer in their lives. May it guide them to a healthier understanding of how the disease affects their loved one, their family, and their world. May it offer, as much as it is possible, a little healing in the midst of sickness. The main question: what is cancer? Your body is like a machine made up of many parts that make up bigger parts that make up still bigger parts. The smallest part is called a cell, and a cell is so small you can't even see it with your eyes. You would need a microscope. But cells grouped together make tissues, and tissues working together make organs. And organs make us able to breathe and eat and pump blood and fight against sickness. Sometimes something bad happens to the cells, and these sick cells group together. When they do, it can cause harm to tissues and organs in the body, making a person sick. This is called cancer. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There are many types of cancer, and each can harm different parts of the body. You might want to know exactly what is happening in the body of someone you love. Ask a relative or teacher to explain what part of your loved one's body is hurting. They can help. You look up things in an encyclopedia or on the internet. There are pictures and facts there about the tissues or organs harmed by the cancer. They can help you understand the difference between a healthy body like yours and a sick one. Scary words are not always so scary. Sometimes you may hear people say big words that you don't understand. These words can sound very scary, like biopsy, chemotherapy, remission. Have someone help you understand these words and any other words you might hear. When you know what they mean, you'll see that they're not so scary after all. For example, biopsy, that means exploring to see what might be wrong. Chemotherapy means cleaning the inside of the body to try and help the sick cells. And remission means the best thing of all, the person is better now. It's not your fault. It's natural to want to know why something happens. You might be wondering why Grandpa Pete has cancer. Doctors know that some things, like smoking cigarettes, can cause cancer, but there is still much they don't know, and they can never answer the why for sure. If we don't know why, sometimes we may wonder if we did something to make this happen. We might think no one is telling us why because it's somehow our fault. But people get sick, and that's just the way things are sometimes. Know that you did nothing to bring this on. It's okay to cry. When someone has cancer, it can be very sad for everyone. No one likes to see someone they love hurting. And when you know he or she is hurting, it can make you hurt also. This causes sadness for everyone, for the person who is sick, for family members, and for you. It's okay to be sad, and it's okay to cry. Crying doesn't mean you're not strong. It's just a way for your body to show you're sad. Everyone cries, boys and girls, men and women, and it's okay for you too, if you feel like it. It's okay to be mad. When someone in your family has cancer, life can be even busier than usual. Along with all your normal activities like school and soccer and scouts, time also has to be made for your loved one's needs. There will be extra trips to the hospital for checkups and chemotherapy. Sometimes this means that you might not get to do what you like to do, and this could make you mad. It's okay to be mad, especially when things are hard to understand. When you get to do something fun again, you'll be less mad. It's also okay to be afraid. Even if you know something about it, cancers can still be scary. There might be 1,000 questions running through your mind like, what if Bobby doesn't get better? Or what if Sarah never comes back home from the hospital? You might wonder if things will ever get back to normal again. Being afraid doesn't mean you're being a baby. It just means that there are things going on that are hard to understand. And that's scary for everyone, even grown-ups. Remember, you can always tell them that you are afraid. And it's okay to be happy. There is much to be sad, mad and afraid but when someone you love has cancer. But there are still things to be happy about, and it's good to remember that too. Maybe your dog did something crazy. Maybe you heard a funny story at school. Maybe you scored a goal at your soccer match. When these things happen, don't be afraid to laugh and roll your eyes and be happy. Your loved one who is sick will want to hear about it too. By sharing happiness with her, she'll be able to smile too. Talking helps. Sometimes you will feel sad, sometimes mad, sometimes afraid and sometimes happy. Since everyone is different, you may feel some things that others don't. Your cousin may be happy when you're sad. You may be afraid when your sister is mad. When there are so many different feelings happening around you, it's good to talk to someone to help understand them all better. If possible, a good person to talk to is the loved one who has the cancer. But there are many people who want to hear how you feel: parents, teachers, ministers, and relatives. People change. When someone's fighting against cancer, many things happen that change that person. Your favourite aunt who always played ball or climbed trees with you may become tired and unable to do much. Or she may lose weight and become much smaller. Some people who have dark skin may become very pale. Some people lose all of their hair. What's important is on the inside of a person, though. If you notice changes in Aunt Karen, don't be afraid. It's what her body must go through while she's fighting against the disease. Know that's what's inside. The person who loves you still remains the same. Do something nice. Think back to when you had a cold or a flu, or maybe when you got your tonsils out. Being sick is no fun. No one likes to feel bad, and no amount of ice cream can help that. But it helps when people do nice things to show that they care. You can help your loved one feel better by doing something nice for him. Maybe you can make a card with pictures of happy things, or pick flowers to brighten up his room, or tell him about something exciting that happened at school. When you help someone to feel better, you'll find that you feel better too. Sometimes people don't get better. Cancer is a very serious disease. Sometimes, even though doctors try very hard and we pray and hope very much, the person we love may not get better. This doesn't mean the doctors didn't do their job or that our prayers were not answered. It just means the cancer became too strong to fight. If this happens, you might not be able to visit your loved one as much for a while because he must spend more time in the hospital. It may even mean that his life here will end and he will go to heaven. You will be taken care of. You may worry about who will care for you if your loved one is not around. Who will fix my breakfast? Who will take me to school? Who will read me stories? If you're worried about this, talk to a grown-up. You will find there will be many people who will help you. All you need to do is ask. Always remember there are many caring adults who will make sure you have things you need. Say a prayer. Many people pray when they need extra help, especially when someone is sick. Praying is asking God to give us and the people we love the things we need most. You can pray for your loved one as well. Ask a grown-up like a priest or a minister or even your parents to help you pray so that your loved one may get the things she needs most. God listens to all prayers, so you can pray in your own way. You can ask God to help your loved one and say a prayer of thanks when your loved one is feeling better. This is the end, and I hope you enjoyed this lovely story, which is called When Someone You Love Has Cancer, and it's a guide to help children cope. So here we go again with another weekly story, dedicated once again for children to be able to understand the seriousness of the disease, but taking away some of the pain and giving a little bit more of understanding. So I really do hope you've enjoyed this week's story. I'll be back again next week, 6 o'clock, for more inspiring stories. And if you do want to get in touch with me during the week or over the weekend, please feel free to visit my website, which is www.themonsterinmummy.com, where I will more than happy answer any questions. My email address is info@doniayoussef.com. All contact details are on the website. I also wanted to share with you some exciting news. We are bringing out the Monster in Mummy 2, which is very exciting. So that will be out in October, towards the end of this year. But obviously we'll keep you updated via the website. Lots of exciting events upcoming as well. So please do keep in touch on the social media channels and obviously via the website. Be very, very happy to connect with some of you if you wish. Anyway, would like to wish you another fantastic week. Thank you once again for listening in, and I look forward to next week's story time at 6 o'clock with myself, award-winning author Donia Youssef of The Monster and Mummy. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye-bye.